This is the yard sale table. Everybody who comes into my video game store absolutely loves it, but I freaking hate it. I'm sorry, Mr. Cat in the Hat, you know I didn't mean that, right? To be clear, I love the deals on this table. To be able to get a Super Nintendo Super Set for half price because it has some tape on it, or a $10 PSP box, or amiibos at flat prices for 12 bucks a piece, a little Pokemon book for $1.99. There's cool stuff on here and there's a reason people love digging through it. All the coolest stuff has already sold from it, but the problem is it's just a total eyesore. Aaron and Odin have been super hard at work at making every part of the store look and feel really nice. We've got some clear labels on all of our well-organized controllers over here. We've got a nice looking slap board on the back of checkout over here. And then you come up to the dang yard sale table and it looks like a yard sale or a thrift store or the Goodwill bins, and I just can't stand it anymore. Which is why I have bought some new fixtures, which will not only replace the yard sale table, but also these sort of ugly and honestly not all that efficient $5 game section. And the best part is everything that we need for the job just got delivered yesterday, but in order to assemble it all, I think I'm gonna need a little bit of help. It worked.
I was in the bathroom 20 minutes ago.
It takes that long? Congratulations, man. You have your task for the day. Enjoy. So the cool thing about these units that we're putting up now, these ones, actually, I don't know if you guys have seen the final version of this over here, because just last week, our guy, Mike, our contractor, finished mounting all of this slat grid over here. So we have a uniform game wall across this whole thing, no more media shelves, which feels really good. I'm really happy with how this switch wall has turned out. We definitely have a little bit more room to expand. We may, I don't know, PS4 is kind of crowded down here. Maybe we expand it up. I don't love the idea of splitting sections. I don't know, I could be convinced. Some of you guys will say, ooh, but it doesn't make sense. Why do you, Nintendo here, Nintendo there, PS5, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't make sense. Actually does make sense. And I'll tell you why. We've got all of the consoles that we sell the best right at eye level. So it goes Wii, GameCube, 360, PS2, PS3, and Switch. That was the primary thing I was optimizing for, which I believe most retail stores do organize their goods that way as well. You're gonna find the stuff that they want you to buy most at eye level, and the rest, you know, the original Xbox, the Dreamcast that we never really seem to move, the Sega Genesis games are just a little bit less conveniently located, so that we're still able to take advantage of all of the vertical space, but have the maximum chances of somebody stumbling across something that they're actually willing and able to purchase. But as I was saying, on this side, all of these units, because we don't actually have something to firmly mount them to, they're all gonna be freestanding. The goal for this $5 section is to increase the amount of total shelf space that we have available for $5 games, because we have a good number of $5 games back there that we just haven't stickered and displayed quite yet, because we just don't have the room. Also, let's be honest, like this jerry-rigged shelving system here is just kind of uggo. So would love to see that go, and excited to see the yard sale table go, because that's getting replaced with a yard sale rack if Keaton ever actually starts working. We'll see.
My main goal for today is to try to be the next person to put a hole in one of the windows and to crack the glass again.
Crack number 3. Have we found instructions yet?
No. But all I know is that we put 2 of those 7-foot shelves together by ourselves, no instructions.
You can just go on vibes.
Fail fast.
So we actually got a tiny package today, pretty much smaller than what we usually get, so let's see what's inside. Part of me is really scared that it's just gonna be a bunch of loose games that we're just gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do. Is it just 3? It's just, no. And a PSP! Okay, I was about to say so, because if you guys haven't sold with us before, we have a $100 limit, and I was like, this is not $100. I wish it was, but look at that. Oh, little scratches on here, but there's nothing that Plastic X wouldn't remove. It's a PSP 1000, one of the more fatter models. I wonder if it's gonna work. We're gonna test this out. And Cooking Mama. And Mario and Luigi's Bowser's Inside Story. So again, 2 games that we are paying well in because they are hot listed. So we got some really great games here. We have Mario Super Slugger. We have Grand Theft Auto 5 on the 360. Guitar Hero is always going to be a game right now that is super popular because everyone wants to play it. Or collect it, the whole series line. What I'm looking at right now is this PSP. Let's turn it on. It's on hold. Do you see that? If you push it down, the hold, it's not an LED, but it's like a sticker thing. Can we turn it on? Oh, what was that? OMG! This is the first time in history, while we're filming, we actually received a completely broken console. If you look closely, it's like a web pointing straight to the middle. If you turn it on for just a second, and that is a broken screen. So unfortunately, this is the type of things we get, and that's why, you know, he packaged it really well. As you can see, it wasn't a thick bubble wrap. Either way though, he is still getting money for this entire batch, as long as everything else is pretty much good. But if it all works out, he's still gonna get a pretty good amount.
The vision behind the yard sale rack is that we have various different kinds of baskets at a bunch of different levels that spans 8 feet wide and like 4 feet high. Is it 4 feet? Maybe it's larger than that. To basically give us maximum storage for all of our yard sale quality items. So you can see this bad boy is pretty big. It's like, I think 15 inches high at the largest, but this on its own compared to some of the storage that we've had over here, it's overall going to be, it's gonna come out a little bit less far. It will leave customers a little bit more room to walk, but it's gonna be much wider. So we'll have plenty of space, hopefully, to stick, like maybe this basket is, maybe this basket is our little like handheld case basket, and suddenly that looks a lot more organized and polished rather than just literally having them dumped all in a nasty pile.
Shaina, what you up to?
Well, basically I am sorting these loose games that, as you can see, we have Armored Core and stuff like that are quite expensive into their own category. So like Dreamcast goes to Dreamcast, Xbox 360 goes to Xbox 360, because we are gonna sort these. We're gonna resurface them and we're gonna put them in our generic cases to sell them on Amazon.
Well, this looks like a really thrilling process and that you're having a great time doing it.
This is like my version of brain rot. All I hear is 6-7 over and over again. 6-7.
Oh my God.
Dude, I don't know why that's a thing. I really don't.
But Shaina, I'm so confused. Why are you doing this and not like intake or something?
It's because we have a new trainee. His name is Zach.
All right, Zach. Hey, Zach.
Oh, hey, I'm Zach.
All right, Zach, what's something that people should know about you?
I mean, I'm really big into Guitar Hero games.
Nice.
Love all the rhythm games.
Is there like any like song that's your go-to?
One by Metallica.
Oh,
Love
nice.
Love
Are you a
that.
big Metallica fan?
Oh yeah. Big,
Oh, yeah.
Big into metal.
Do you have a favorite, like a metal album or metal band?
Ooh, Master of Puppets, always a go-to.
That's a classic.
Mhm.
Yeah, I gotta love that.
Mhm.
Well, good luck with this intake, Zach, and I wish you luck on your training.
Yep, thank you.
What about you, Keaton? What's your favorite metal?
I like steel. Steel is a good metal. Titanium. There's a lot of cool alloys out there that I like. Mercury, like liquid mercury. It's tasty. Well, I think the instructions are wrong. I think.
Okay.
So these 2 bottom screws, there's a perfect number of screws for these holes in each set. And then the same thing with the top screws. It says in the instructions to use the bigger screws for the bottom holes.
Yeah,
that's
I
what
think
it's
that
labeled
makes
as.
sense, because the longer ones would be supposed to go all the way through, but what do they go to?
I assume they attach, I don't know, because we get like little bits of the instructions at a time. So on the instructions, it says assemble the balance with 3/16 24 screws. It has a Phillips head, right? But on the instructions, next to this, it has these 2 screws going in, but it shows nothing about these other screws going in. So I don't know what Temu website we got these off of, but I'm struggling here. I'm becoming an engineer. Did you know who Olin Rogers is, Caleb? You don't know who Olin Rogers is?
Mm-mm.
Gosh.
I'll be one of those guys.
He's like,
haven't seen Lord of the Rings? Whoa, whoa, whoa.
no, Olin Rogers is like premier. He's like pioneer to YouTube. Like he made one of the first like big viral YouTube videos ever of just like a skit, like him telling stories. He went from that to opening like a soda parlor shop in Nashville. And then he went from that to writing a TV show, an animated TV show to go on TBS called Final Space, which Conan O'Brien starred in it. There's a couple other big names. David Tennant. David Tennant was in it.
I'm so glad I know this now. Thank you. Guy seems like a real self-obsessed D-bag, if you ask me.
Olin Rod. Oh my gosh.
You know what the telltale sign is?
What's that?
He has a YouTube channel.
I try to defend Caleb, and he digs his own graves.
What's up, guys? It's Odin here at Quick Flips. I've got some really interesting stuff for you today. First of all, let's talk about this 3DO right here. This is the Panasonic 3DO. It's the FZ10 variant. Depending on who you ask, this is probably the most stable, so therefore the best platform possible for the 3DO. I went through a few iterations, but this one just kind of actually worked. I'm gonna come out and say it. This one actually worked. The 3DO released with a lot of titles. We'll dive into these in just a second. But first, let's talk about this controller. It's got this tiny little serial connection, which is already kind of dates the piece, right? We got to keep in mind this is mid to early 90s. And then you've also got this guy here. This is something interesting. If you want to play with multiple players with multiple controllers, you've got to daisy chain them because there's only one connection on the console itself. Let's go and talk about a few of these. So I'm a D&D nerd at heart, so we got to talk about these. I've got Deathkeep and I've got Slayer, two kind of like amazing little AD&D games. This is stuff my dad probably would have played. This is Guardian War. This is like an RPG, but it's also turn-based. And turn-based for this time period, I was talking to my friend Chris, this is actually kind of rare to see turn-based in the United States at around this time. Something that you guys probably will recognize though is Street Fighter 2. Check that out, right? For people who collect games, yes, Gex came out on this, so here's another Gex that you need to collect. There's another thing I want to show you guys. I'll have it here in just a second. Hey, I learned the trick.
Who taught you how to do that?
I'm not telling. So we've got some more Game Boy games, is that right?
Yeah, this was another part of this same trade
Yeah,
that you
yeah.
haven't actually seen yet. I
have
did
not
this
seen this.
independently, and I just wanted to, because there's some cool stuff in here.
Okay,
There's
okay.
like some uncommon Game Boy that you don't see all that much, and I'm just curious if you pick up on it as a pleb. No, don't go for the Pokemon Crystal. That's the most pleb
It was
game
just
I've
sitting
ever
right
seen.
there. It's just sitting.
This
we
is-
can't gloss over it.
Nobody
though.
cares about this.
Nobody-
This is gone.
Final Fantasy is kind of neat. I've seen that before though. Well, let's
Pleb.
keep going.
Gone.
Let's keep going. Castlevania 2? That's actually kind of sick.
Yeah, you're getting up
Oh,
there.
and more Castlevania.
Yeah, we got a lot of Castlevania. in this
Contra's
lot.
interesting.
Uh-huh.
Wario Blast. Oh, that's a Wario game on. Okay, that's kind of neat.
This also is coming from the guy who opened up his segment with "What's up, guys?" Like it's 2018 YouTube over
Like
here.
it's 2018. Hey, I'm stuck in the past in case you couldn't tell.
Yeah, technically this is kind of day one on YouTube for you, so I'll
Basically,
cut you some slack. Some stuff that caught my eye: Fist of the North Star.
Wait, what? How did I miss that? What? Okay.
Because you're a pleb, bro.
Okay.
I'm sorry. We've got Dragon Warrior Monsters 2, Gobi's Journey, and Tara's Adventure. These are some uncommon, somewhat
Dragon Warrior's
uncommon
pretty
gems.
Sick. Dragon Warrior's pretty sick.
And this,
Okay.
this box just keeps going. Like, oh, this is a cool one. I have no idea the value on this. I just thought it was cool. Legend of the River King. You may have to pull up a value. I'm curious what we're actually paying for that
That's
on Quick Flips
interesting.
right now.
Okay.
Battle of Zeoth. That's what I'm about.
I didn't recognize your game. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
But just a lot of stuff in this Game Boy collection that like you just don't see every day. Boomer's Adventure Asmic World. I mess with that. You know you've never seen that.
I don't even know what that is.
This is like Barney's younger cousin who is slightly inbred. Turtles, don't care. Turtles, Tetris, that's already all in the case. But what's not in the case, Penguin Wars. We like that stuff around here. This is the quality you can
That goes
expect.
hard. That goes hard. Okay, okay.
Here's the problem. I don't know how much of this stuff is actually going to end up landing in our case because our Game Boy case is full right now. And now
Gotcha.
that we've
Right,
got
right.
multiple online sales channels, some of this is probably going to go to Amazon because we've already got a bunch of copies of Tetris and Donkey Kong. And then some of the other stuff, the more obscure stuff, we're probably going to list on eBay.
Right.
Because you have to find the right collector. The average guy coming into your store is not going to care about Legend of River King.
No, no.
He's probably more Odin minded and he's going to be like, ooh, Pokemon Crystal.
What about Bram Stoker's Dracula?
That one's kind of cool.
That one's kind of sick.
Yeah, I like that. You don't see that every day. What a privileged position I'm in to be able to poo-poo a Pokemon Crystal. This is an absolute grail for any game store. Caleb, shame on you for your privilege. Just let people have fun with good games. That's what this is all about.
Oracle of Seasons.
I think you might need to clap me away. Just to end my existence right now.
I'm too much of a pleb.
Oh, and also we gotta give a little shout out to all the Gex fans. Complete your Gex collection with Gex 3.
You gotta get it.
Come
You
on
gotta
in
get it.
here. We gotta keep this for the store, I think.
For the store,
Someone's
yeah.
gonna come in, they're gonna buy Gex on the 3DO, they're gonna buy Gex on the Game Boy, You're gonna be gecked out.
Yeah, whatever Monster Rancher is, I guess it's like,
You haven't heard of that franchise?
No.
That's like Pokemon's inbred younger brother.
What's Pokemon?
This guy.
Wait. Whoa. Grand Theft Auto.
All right, I'm done. Okay, so this is what it's supposed to look like.
Okay.
Ultimately. So we're pretty close, but what I don't understand is what's the point of like the screws going through all these holes? How does that actually help us affix to this guy? Because this, well, actually, I kind of take it back. I guess
It goes through the
it
thing.
could go, okay, like maybe it just rests like that. Oh, is it maybe
the
you just
washer
put
is on the other
you
side.
just put the nut on, or the washer, no, the washer would go over here.
On the other side, yeah.
And then the nut just comes off and goes back on after it's.
Yeah. And that's what I'm guessing too.
I'm just wondering if they sent us, like I thought I ordered 8-footers for those. They seem like 6, maybe.
It looks
yeah,
like 8 foot to
6.
me. No, it looks like 8 foot to me. Looks like 8 foot to me.
That's not even a flex.
It's 8 foot.
Imagine the
That's-
joint problems you would have. Like, 6 is better than 8.
Checks to see if he's actually 6 foot. Can confirm. Grid for scale.
Okay, I found it.
Kill me, please.
Yeah, 2x6. They sent us the right thing. Although the thing that was wrong about the shipment was on this basket over here. It broke. Pretty sure that's not. Pretty sure that's not the factory setting.
I love how it's like you would expect like one of the little like tack welds right there to break or something.
Well-
It's like no, the actual.
No, look,
It's like
it
a
is a
clean
tack.
break.
It is a tack weld. That's a tack
Oh,
if I've
wow.
ever seen it.
That's
Do you
funny.
think China could solder that?
No. I don't think solder would be strong enough to hold it together.
I don't know. That girl loves to solder.
Go for it. I mean, why not try it? It'd be fun.
We could give her a shot.
I'd enjoy
It's
the
not going to
bit.
make it worse.
All right, Shina. Caleb handed me this. Do you think this is possible to be soldered? I need your genuine opinion.
What is happening?
This right here.
Oh, you know, there's something called duct tape. I don't think this needs soldering. You just need to duct tape this together.
Could
and call it a day.
be soldered?
Hell nah. I ain't doing this. What the? Didn't you guys just get this in?
It came in like that.
Oh, well, I would first tell them to give you some credit back and then duct tape this together like that.
Okay, Caleb, good and bad news. Shina said this can't be soldered.
Okay, why not?
To quote her, she said, hell nah. But she did say that duct tape or super glue could maybe work.
Oh, well, that's ingenious. Thanks, China. I wish I would have thought of that. Rob82491 says, Dear Caleb, how do you switch off at night and find work-life balance? I can imagine how exciting it is to open and run a game store, let alone manage your priorities and think of new ideas. Interested to hear how you do it. Well, Rob, that's an awesome question. And there are kind of two answers, depending on whether you're talking about the short term or the long term when starting a business. Because in the short term, I don't know of any way to start a business, whether you're just doing it as a side hustle or part-time or full-time, that doesn't involve your work-life balance skewing significantly to the work side. To a degree that a lot of people who, like me, come from just like the standard 40-hour work week corporate world might see and find kind of unappealing. I think a lot of people, myself included, get into business for themselves because they dream to be able to make more money and have more flexibility. But the brutal reality is that when starting a business, at least in the short term, I don't know a way to do that that doesn't involve working way more and making way less, at least in the beginning. So I think to a lot of people who do have those same desires that I have, in the short term, it can be kind of disheartening, like, oh my gosh, I'm working more than I ever have, making less, and I feel like there are more constraints on my freedom now than I have ever had. I guess as an example of that, this last season for me with opening up this store and moving from the basement into this beautiful facility has been a very heavy work skewed season, right? I would say for the last 3 months or so, up until this last weekend, I hadn't taken a day off. That's very normal in business. That's not me valorizing myself. That's just when you own a business, you sign up for seasons like that. Because when there are gaps in your workflow or when there are significant projects that need to get off the ground or big business transitions, it's your business. There's nobody that, I have no boss that I can go to for help. But at the same time, when you look at a long enough time horizon in business, if you are fortunate enough to have a business that survives that long and is able to grow and build a quality team like I've been really lucky to do here at Quick Flips, you can get to a point where you do have disproportionate flexibility. And so just this last weekend, my wife Erica and I took a trip out to Georgia for, I don't know if I've announced this yet, our baby moon, because Erica is pregnant. So that was a really nice time for us. And I've got to say, because of the quality of the team that I have here and the fact that everyone that we have now pretty much knows and understands their positions and can make great decisions and actually grow this thing without me, I, for the first time, really was not anxious about not being working. And if it gives you guys any perspective, I'm now 6 years in to my resale / business ownership journey. And this is not the first time that I've felt that, but the first time I've felt that this deeply. So I would not necessarily assume that my experience is indicative of business ownership in general. I know there are a lot of folks that probably start businesses and have better boundaries than I did much earlier on, especially if you are in a position of already having kids or family or other priorities. But I don't know how likely it is or how soon it will happen that I don't go to bed and wake up each night thinking about business problems. Maybe that'll come at some point this next year. I hope it does. But the cool thing about business ownership is if you're willing to look in a long enough term, eventually, I haven't gotten to this point yet, but I believe eventually you can start to work less and have the flexibility that most people start a business in hopes of achieving. And that point for me may end up being this next year. We'll see. I've got a question for you, Keaton.
Got an answer.
How come I'm going so much faster than you?
I've made mistakes along the way. That can be admitted.
At least he looks good doing it. Although the thing you have to know about Keaton is this guy loves Lucario.
You know what? I do love Lucario. I'm not afraid to say that. I'm not ashamed of Lucario. Roast me in the comments. That's who I am as a person.
He loves Lucario. He loves Lucario.
Oh my gosh.
He loves Lucario. Look, we won't judge you for your preferences.
Caleb has to put earplugs in when he goes to the movies.
Don't expose me.
Hold
on.
How the tables have turned.
Let's go back to Lucario.
Caleb talks about how much faster he's doing than me. So this, nice, sturdy, finished, you know, doesn't really rattle, not that loose. Got the feet on it. One Caleb just finished. It's loose. Anybody notice it's missing the feet on the bottom?
That is kind of bad. But as for the rest of it, it's an efficiency move because you make it all wobbly so that it doesn't bind up on you, and then you come back with this little guy right here, and you.
I already finished it, but I got mine done.
Yeah, because you had the drill. This guy, why are you going so slow?
He's just mad. He's just mad.
I did forget the feet.
You could say that he was defeated.
You could say that he loves Lucario. All right, thank you. Well, folks, turns out I screwed the pooch. As it turns out, we are shelfless because there is a big difference between the shipping confirmation and the invoice confirmation email, which I totally spaced. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna change plans a little bit. Keaton is out right now getting zip strips, black zip strips, so that we can zip these things together and also zip our, our like H panels onto the ends here. Hopefully that will still be stable. We may actually want to, once we do get the shelves in, zip them a little bit more. But for the time being, looks like we're just going to have to transfer our ugly shelves onto these new slat grid units, which the upside of using slat grid specifically rather than grid wall is that we can still use these hooks that previously were in this slat wall display. Oh, I've put myself in a pickle. You're good, you're good, you're good. That's not good. cinema. And we can just pop them right over here into the slat grid. Boom, boom. Take the shelf. This is gonna require another bookend. Look at that. We just transfer it over. It doesn't look great, but it looks a little bit better, especially with the uniformity. Just having this whole thing be a massive $5 wall section with the end caps and everything. Looking at it, you know what? I think this is a little bit too close to our door anyway to really put a shelf facing this way. So this, I don't know if, we might just not have an end cap on this one, but at least being able to put some extra ones over here is something that I think our door goers, our customers, will end up appreciating. So just gotta get all of this stuff transferred in a way that hopefully looks decent. Just a couple of bros looking stuff up, hanging out, throwing games around. The Logster. I never call you the Logster.
Not once.
What process are we going through here?
We're going through a lot of the bins. We have stuff kind of set aside for the store. We're scanning everything, just making sure it's in its right spot, seeing if any stuff needs to get kicked back to Amazon, seeing what would go well on eBay.
Yeah, we have all these bins that have been sitting here forever, that have all been marked for store, like store Pokemon, store finished, store $5 games. But they've been sitting so long that a lot of them have been here like a couple months, and we were saving up stuff for the store that we could theoretically put on Amazon, not realizing that the store is buying more than enough stuff already for the store. So there's a small set of items that we actually want to save for the store. Like we want to make sure that our GameCube shelf is staying stocked, and that we have like, you know, cool handhelds coming and hitting the shelves, and that the inventory is cycling in and out of the items that our customers want the most. But there's all kinds of other items that we could put on the store shelves and they would never sell, like a sealed Space Bust-A-Move on DS, or a Lost Vikings on the Super Nintendo with a little bit of cosmetic damage, or a weirdly valuable Die Hard on the NES. All of these games are great sellers in the video game category, but for whatever reason don't sell on Amazon, would take forever to sell in the store, and so we're going to start listing them on eBay, which is going to be Logan's job.
Yay.
Aaron ever call you Logurt?
Logurt?
Logurt.
No.
Like a Go-Gurt?
No. Not once.
Classic Logurt.
I'm gonna go ahead and de-mic and quit. I'm done with that one.
We've lost Logan, folks. Logurt did him in.
Stop saying that. I really don't like that.
So folks, we had a bit of a problem with this method, that when it was weighed down with games, these old shelves here, it kind of, I don't know if you can see it, it kind of tilts forward a little bit, especially, yeah, when you've got all the game weight on there and stuff was just falling off. On top of that, it's gonna be at least a few days before we get the correct shelves in, so we decided to harvest some of our empty shelves, or empty-ish shelves, from elsewhere in the store on the rest of this grid slat, pop them over here just temporarily so we have somewhere for the $5 games to go that hopefully won't slip and slide all around. We just have to see whether or not everything that is left on all of these shelves will actually fit up there. Okay, well, it's not pretty, but it is done, and we did manage to get everything at least onto the shelves and purchasable again. It's an uggo, I'll be honest. A little bit uggo right now, but it'll only be a few days before the actual shelves get here, and then if you can imagine, this entire thing will look basically like this does. So we'll have longer, uniform rows of games. Nothing will be horizontally stacked like this. I hate that. We won't have massive, perilous stacks of PS2 games over here. We won't have a doubled up basket of Sega and Xbox. There are a lot of gross things about this. The important thing is these are now clear, so we can disassemble them, take them all down, make some room to build our new yard sale table rack. Well, folks, as they say, out with the old, in with the new. Let's go high enough with this that we can go over that box. Good thing I didn't work out this month. Folks, say goodbye to the yard sale table, and hello to our yard sale rack. A beautiful thing. What's that? Oh yeah. Get this up there. Not that anyone will ever be able to see it. Congratulations, Goliath. This will now be aesthetically pleasing to you. All right, ready? Oh, geez, that's wobbly. Holy cow. All right, that's pretty good, I'd say.
I did all that and ate a Nutrigrain bar at the same time.
All right, time to do it again. Can you do me a favor and say, oh, banana?
Oh, banana.
Well, folks, the yard sale table is officially a yard sale rack, and our ugly $5 game displays are, let's be honest, just about as ugly right now. But soon they will be better. Either way, they're much more easy to browse, and we have much more open space here. Like, this whole area feels a lot less cluttered. And I think once we get the final shelves over here, and especially once we get the signage of $5 games, 5 for 20, it's gonna feel way more professional than it has. And between that and this, these are our two sections of the store that we get the most positive feedback about. People absolutely love them. And I think this is just going to take it to that next level for folks, and also allow us to be a little bit more loosey-goosey with the amount of stuff, the breadth of items that we're able to buy, because we can just say, oh, you know what, we'll just toss it in a yard sale rack basket, because we have plenty of space. And I think it's gonna be good for sales, it's gonna be good for customers, and just a really nice upgrade. What do you think, DK?
Oh.